your host. I actually have some guests with me today. I've got Andrew Newman. He is our training manager, trains all of our new support team members, actually oversees the creation of documentation in our help desk. And I've also got Glenn Buchanan, who is a content specialist on our team, who also helps with all the documentation as well. So we're going to get started here. Looks like we got some people joining in on Zoom, and we got a few people on Facebook. I'm going to get this Facebook video link and share it in our ClickFunnels Facebook group, so that way everyone there can watch if they want. So we're going live on Zoom, on Facebook Live, and in a Facebook group. So give me 1 second here. All right. All right, there we go. So I'm sharing this in the Facebook group. We got Scott Steinlager. I'm not sure if I said that right, but that's how I like to say it. And got a few people on Zoom. Actually, looks like 46 people watching on Facebook Live, 7 people in Zoom. We got Israel watching on Facebook. All right. So if you're in Zoom, go ahead and add your questions to the Q&A module that's in Zoom. And if you are on Facebook, go ahead and add them to the comments on the Facebook Live video. If you're in Zoom and you add them to the chat, we may not see them. When you add them to the Q&A, they get the Q&A module in Zoom, they get added in order. And so we're able to go in the order that the questions are received. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and get started here. So actually, just so you guys know, I'm going to take turns answering some of these questions with Andrew, and Glenn is going to help us. He's going to field the questions for us and let us know what your questions are. So let's go ahead and get started. Glenn, what's the first question out of the gate here?
First question we have for the day is from Todd Mobley. Moving from ActiveCampaign to Actionetics, do I need to use SendGrid when using Actionetics in my account?
All right, so that is a yes. So when you're using Actionetics, and I like to explain that, I want to explain this a little bit more than just a simple yes, but I want everyone to make sure they understand what an SMTP is, such as SendGrid. So when you have an email service provider like ActiveCampaign, MailChimp, or something like that, right? So let's just say ActiveCampaign, MailChimp, or etc. They basically have their own SMTP servers in there that are delivering your email, and all the users of these services are going through these SMTP servers. Maybe they have multiple servers that they're using, but essentially you're sending on the same SMTP servers as everybody else. And so a lot of the time what's happening is if somebody joins up and they start sending out spammy emails, that could potentially affect your deliverability. That's why they are so strict about spam on all of these, and that's why ActiveCampaign will come in and shut you down if they don't like the emails you're sending out, or MailChimp or any other email service provider. Now the difference is with Actionetics, you create all the emails and email sequences inside ClickFunnels, inside Actionetics, and then you connect to an external SMTP server that we don't have anything to do with. And so your SMTP server at this point, that's going to be SendGrid. That's going to be Send13. You also got Mailgun, SparkPost. There's a whole bunch of them. Amazon. So you've got all these different SMTP servers. And so what happens is these SMTP servers, they could potentially shut you down. We're not going to, unless you're in violation of our terms of service, but we're not going to be looking at your email content and say, hey, that's too spammy necessarily. But SendGrid, they may say, hey, your unsubscribe rate is too high, or you've had too many spam reports, and they're going to shut you down. If that happens here with ActiveCampaign, you've got all your emails all built out in ActiveCampaign inside MailChimp and everything. If that happens here and they shut you down, you've lost all these emails. And so if that happens here, all your emails are still built out. All you do is plug in a new SMTP server, and you can keep on sending. So looked like there was a follow-up here from Todd. What about when I'm using it for my clients' funnels? I would like to send those emails from my client's email address. Is that possible? So first of all, just so you're aware, it's actually against our TOS. One of the things that is against our TOS to run client funnels inside your own account. They would need their own account, and so you would set up. You could set up their own ClickFunnels account for them, share funnels into that account, and then set up the SMTP so that it goes from their email address. All right. What's our next question here, Glenn?
Our next question is from Andrew. Is it possible to have a second user on the same account? Reason being, I have different staff helping me manage different campaigns, and I don't want each of them to be able to see all of the other campaigns I have going on.
All right. You want to go ahead and answer that one, Andrew?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Outstanding. Okay, so Andrew, absolutely you can have other people managing your account. Certified partners do have the ability to manage your account from within their own. One of the keys here, though, is you will not be able to block them from seeing any of the information that is stored within your account. So you wouldn't be able to stop a particular person from seeing campaign A versus campaign B. They'll have access to everything that's within your account the way that it is currently set up. So yes, you can, and no, you can't. It's inside of your question there. As far as having a person that's not a certified partner be able to do that, there currently isn't anything in the system to allow that feature. Now, you might notice that when you log into your account, up at the top under the account settings, you have a managers tab. And that right there is where you'll actually be able, now in Mark's view there, you see the clients and the client requests. But this allows you to revoke access here to anybody that you've given access previously to the, just like Mark just did there, to your account. So if you have a person who obviously you're no longer allowing access to, you can control that there. Now, if you do look at your account and you did see where Mark's account there had the client access options, there's those two options that not every single account has. So if you're looking at your account and you don't see those options, that simply means that your account is not set up for that. And if you're curious about that, that's something that you'd want to open up a support request, and we can get you the links to look that over and see how you can get access to that inside of your personal account. So anyways, I hope that answers your question, Andrew. Mark, did you have any feedback on that?
Nope. I think you covered that beautifully. Looks like we got some questions in Zoom, Glenn. What's the next question there?
The first question we have is from Cian, and it has to do with one of the links she just provided. Can you explain how to create a green background behind this shared funnel?
All right, I'm actually going to open up this link on another page real quick. All right, so let me bring this over here. All right, so Cian wants to know how to create a green background on this page. So let me actually just open up the editor here. And let's take a look at how this page is put together real quick, because it could make a difference here. So it looks like, let's see. So we'll go to background settings. Looks like there isn't a background color here. And if we go into the section settings, it looks like there is a white background color. Yeah, so there's a section background there. And then this is, okay, so this image actually must be background for the whole page. Yeah, so you've got this image with the couch and the stone here is in your background settings. So if you go to background settings here, now if you remove this image and added a color, you could have a background color for the entire page. However, if you only wanted certain sections, you could go in and change just the background color of the different sections that you wanted to change. Oh, I see. Sienna, she's actually following up here saying where it says Encore. So let me actually refresh this page. I didn't save anything, so don't worry. All right, so just right here where it says Encore, so that's actually going to be in your column settings. So when you click on columns, it's going to pull up all the columns on your page. And so you kind of move your mouse down until you see what column you're hovering over. You'll see that blue outline. So this is that left column there. And you click on that, and then you can change that background color to whatever you want. So that's one that a lot of people ask about actually is changing just the column color. So yeah, you go to columns and then find that column and you'll be good to go.
For our next question, Burke Hickson is asking, he's created 2 ClickFunnels ClickBank products, and for every time that he places an ad on Facebook, they decline his ads.
That's a good question, and I am not the Facebook ads expert. And I mean, we in support, we are more qualified to answer questions regarding using ClickFunnels. So as far as that question goes, I'd recommend asking that in our Facebook group. If you're a member of our Facebook group, you can ask that there. There's a lot of people who know a lot more about Facebook ads than we do. Let me grab that link for everyone to the Facebook group, and I can post it. So I'll add that to the Facebook Live and also in Zoom in the chat here. All right. What's the next question here for Andrew?
The next question is from Ron. How can I use products for a membership site and restrict areas based on a network marketing rank? Should I tie the rank to a product of, say, $0 and do it that way, or is there a better way? For instance, a diamond in the group that gets access to certain training where a basic rep only gets basic access.
You want to go ahead and take that one, Andrew?
Let
me, yeah, go ahead and share your screen if you want, or if you can explain it without sharing your screen, you can do that too.
I can share my screen. I don't have anything up on my screen. I have Facebook up right now, but give me a moment. I'll log in. As far as your question, make sure that I understand it correctly. Are you approaching it from the standpoint of you are a network marketer in a network marketing company and wanted to provide members of your specific downline access to a membership training area, or are you developing a network marketing compensation plan and offer? To answer your question on both of those paths, number one, if you're trying to do this as a network marketer and you're trying to build specific training based off the levels of your particular members in your downline, you could do that, but it would have to be manual. Setting up a product at $0 is one way that you can do it. Setting it up as $1 or a penny or whatever, and then just providing manual access from within your account. I don't know, can you see my screen? Or am I still seeing yours? I still see yours.
I'll stop sharing my screen. You should be able to
share mine now.
Yeah.
Let me know if you can see. I'll just go that way right there. Boom. Pow.
There we go.
Perfect. Okay, so basically from within the account, if you were to go into, say, for example, a membership area, and just go grab a random funnel from here. Got a lot of funnels. So anyways, here, let's just use this Facebook marketing one as an example. I can go into here and I can choose any particular contact from within my contact records, and I can give them access to the membership area based off of the restriction that we have set. So whatever the product setting that we have set up inside the product that we're selling on our order form, we can actually go here and we can go in and set it to where I have access to it even if I didn't pay for it. How you do that's actually relatively simple. You do that from your contact record. There are no contacts in this particular one. We'll just go to contacts up here in Actionetics. And we'll use this random one here. And you can see right here under product purchases that I can add access to a purchase of any specific product within the funnel. So that would work that way, and you can give individuals access to that. Now, if you're trying to set up your own network marketing compensation structure within ClickFunnels, you're going to run into one small detail. You can only go to tiers within our within Backpack to set that up. So that's not going to be necessarily something that you'd be able to set up for moving forward. ClickFunnels more lends itself toward affiliate marketing versus network marketing. The difference is simply the tiered structure. So for example, most affiliate programs go down 2 levels where you have a primary tier where you get a commission on the sale, and then you can earn a commission on the sale of the people that you've brought into your network. Whereas network marketing goes down 3, 4, 5, multiple levels beyond that. If you're trying to build that inside of ClickFunnels, it's not actually going to work the way that you'll want it to. So I hope that is not the direction that you're wanting to go with that. Mark, did you have any feedback with reference to that?
No, I think you answered the question he had here about giving separate access based on, different products. That would be the way to do that. The other thing would be, depending on how many people you have, you could essentially create a separate membership site for each tier if you wanted to. Then you wouldn't have to worry about manually updating access restrictions and things like that. And you could just send them the sign-in link. But then at that point, then they're managing multiple login areas. So different ways to manage that. It depends on how many people you're going to be managing, really.
The next question is from Andrew. He's considering switching from Fusionsoft since it's getting expensive and his list grows. Is the price at sign up with ClickFunnels locked, or is it subject to an increase in the future?
So right now we have 2 pricing tiers. Our $97 starter plan and $297 full Edison suite. And essentially, as far as I know, you would be locked in at that price for those services. I don't know of any plans to change that at any time, but we don't, we don't have any. There aren't any additional plans at the moment that are based on contacts and things like that. There's also, if you watch out for Russell's webinars that he does, he will usually have a special offer where you can get like 6 months or 12 months at a really discounted price, along with some training. So, yeah.
The next question is from Esteban, and he's asking how to program a webinar or to host a webinar within ClickFunnels.
All right. You want to go ahead and go over that one, Andrew, since you've got your screen up there?
I can do that. All right, Esteban. So with ClickFunnels, look, there's actually 2 different types of webinars. And what ClickFunnels does is actually build the experience around the webinar itself. So you're still going to need a host for the video. So to give you an example, if I add a new funnel, and I choose, my computer's running really slow, so bear with me. I'm going to go to the classic because I'm used to it more. So what we do is we're going to choose host a webinar back up, and choose host a webinar. So we have our live webinar and our webinar replays. So I'm assuming that what you're going to do is host a live webinar. Until you've knocked it out of the park, then you're going to host a replay or a ongoing evergreen webinar from that point. So if we go in here and we just create this, we're just going to type in some stuff. Doesn't really matter what it is. This allows us to actually construct our webinar how we choose it. We choose a different template for the registration page. We choose our confirmation page, and then On the back end, when we choose our registration page, we have obviously our email campaigns that are set up based off of when the registrant takes place. All of the controls and all that kind of stuff are in there. So you do have the ability to run either. The one thing that you will need that's going to be third party is going to be the video host. So whether that's a YouTube Live, a GoToWebinar, Webinar Jam, anything like that, that will host the actual webinar itself. So hopefully that answers your question. Mark, did you have any feedback as far as that goes?
No.
Our next question is from CN. She wants to know when she totally changes out a shared funnel to make it her own, let's say a real estate site, and make a fitness site, how do I make it my own, i.e. change the name and take off tags?
Yeah, I mean, that's essentially it. You know, once you've added a shared funnel to your account, it creates a new instance of that funnel. It's completely new. Any changes you make it's not connected to the original funnel. So you can, yeah, as Andrew's showing here, you can change the name, you can change the group tags, you can change the domain, anything you want, the favicon, all the tracking codes, which wouldn't pass through anyway. And then, you know, make sure everything's updated on the pages. When you open the editor, here also the name of the page path, and when you open the editor, at the top you'll notice it says My Awesome Landing Page. You're going to want to update that. That's what someone's going to see in their browser tab. And so you go to settings, click on the SEO metadata, and then you're going to change the title, the description, the keywords, and that's what's going to determine what shows up in the Google search when your site gets indexed by Google. And then the author name and the image URL, that's what's going to show up on Facebook or Twitter or, you know, other social sites. So you can see the preview of how that's going to look. And yeah, so I mean, if you've updated all those things, then you're ready to go. The other thing, go ahead and exit the editor there, Andrew. And then this is actually a feature that a lot of people don't realize, but if you click on Launch Checklist, there's this launch checklist here that will essentially make sure that you've set up your funnel correctly. So it's going to prompt you to set up your domain, if you're adding an email integration, and then give you links to share. If you have order pages, it's going to prompt you to set up products for those order pages. So this is a good checklist to go through to make sure everything is set up correctly.
Maurice has a question about where he can find replays for these webinars. Would they be located within the ClickFunnels YouTube channel?
Let me actually share this link here. I usually share this at the beginning. So this is a link to a Google Doc that has a lot of links on it for different questions. And I'll add it in Facebook as well. On that link, you'll be able to see that there's, let's see, it's the fourth headline down. There's links to the replays on YouTube and on Facebook. And so you can see those, get those links there. And if you're watching on Facebook, the URL that you're watching this on is actually the URL for the replay as well. So.
Presently looking for more questions.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we have any more questions. Looks like Jim was having an issue playing the video earlier on Facebook. If you have an issue with the video, I'd recommend refreshing the page, maybe trying a different browser. Yeah. You know what would actually be kind of good to show people? Well, it looks like we have another question, but let me go over this really quick. Go ahead, Andrew, go to your ClickFunnels dashboard. So to go to your dashboard, you click on the ClickFunnels logo on the top left, and that'll take you to the main page where you log in. At the top there, you'll see this, the ClickFunnels game is what we call it, the funnel game. And if you click on that, it's a game board. Looks like Andrew's already completed it here. But you go through, you click on one of those, and it's going to pop out some walkthroughs on the side where you can go through the steps. There's some videos from Russell, and it's essentially the best place to get started with ClickFunnels. The other thing, go ahead and close that, click the little X there. The other thing is up here at the top where it says help. If you go there and click get help, that's the best way to contact our support team. And so you put in your question, be as detailed as possible in your question when you type it in here. And when you do that, what's going to happen is it's actually going to prompt you with some potential answers. And so once you hit continue, it's going to show you some possible solutions here. And you can scroll through here and see different articles. And you can pop them out into a new tab. If one of those answers your question, you click that solve button. If not, you click I still need help, and it'll actually create a support ticket with our support team. So I'm gonna have to look into why it's doing that though. So
it's good thing we did that.
Yeah, that was a good test. I actually think I might know the cause of that, and so if anyone is having trouble contacting support right now, that's probably my fault. Anyway, so yeah, if you guys ever have questions about contacting support, that's how you go about doing that. I'll let you guys, if there's any other questions here, Glenn, I'm actually going to look into that issue really quick while you guys are going through the other questions.
Wonderful. We have a question from David, and he's asking, why is it important to have a domain?
Okay, so this is more of a strategy question, but I'll go ahead and answer it simply because it's a really good strategy question. When it comes to custom domains, it puts you in the driver's seat. Number one, branding, of course, we won't get into that, but what I mean by that is when you're posting ads or anything like that, same thing when you're sending emails or anything like that from a company that's dedicated in that or a shared IP address, you are also being penalized for anybody who's acting like a knucklehead on that particular server. So for example, when you set up a ClickFunnels account, you have a custom domain that's a subdomain on our domain, right? So it's whatever.clickfunnels.com. And if people tend to advertise or do things that people mark as kind of spammy or whatever, that domain actually gets penalized by YouTube or Google or Facebook or any of those types of websites, search engines, ad platforms, and things of that nature. You can combat this by simply having your own customized domain. It also adds to the branding effort, easier to remember, stuff like that. So there's a lot of reasons why you'd want to have your own custom domain. Obviously, it's not required, but it does help you significantly. So I hope that helps.
We have a question from David. What's the best way to create a separate page in ClickFunnels for terms of use for privacy policies, as well as linking back to his landing page?
Okay, so as far as creating pages, you can do it a couple of different ways. You can actually create your own funnels. So if you created a funnel and just created several miscellaneous pages about me, about us, terms of service, simply whatever you wanted to have as far as those additional pages, put that content on those pages. And then in every funnel that you create, so for example, if you go in and you create a brand new funnel, you just simply link that to a different element. You could do that in a text element. You can do that with a navigation button. Whatever you choose to do, you could have a footer that you saved as a template and then just apply that to every single page that you create moving forward. And that will work that way. So it's really easy to do. You just simply have those pages created on you can even have them outside of ClickFunnels if you had them on a blog or something like that externally. And then you just simply link them into the page. Bear with me while I load the page here and show you how to do that on the individual page itself. So here, I'll grab this opt-in page. And then what it does is simply just adds in on the bottom here, you can do the navigation element. All right, so down here you can see that there's a footer. Inside here, if we added another element, we can do a navigation element here, for example. Just like so. And in this case, you can see those that it's pre-formatted for you. You click on this element and it's going to open up the editor to give you the option of adding in more options, more buttons, and whatnot there. So the computer's running actually kind of slow right now. Open Sesame. Let's see what happens. Reload the page. Interesting. So we'll add a new element. We'll call this a nav bar here. Boom. And see if it lets us in this time. Interesting. I'll have to figure out what's going on with that, but that's actually how you will add that to the page. And when you open that up, what's going to happen is you're going to have the option to add a couple of more, put the URLs that you want them to go to. You can also do that in a text box or a HTML box as well. So hopefully that answers your question. And
so Brian would like to know, he's having problems linking his upsell page to his order page. Where can he add that?
Okay, so by linking your upsell page to your order page, so by default, what ClickFunnels works in the funnel sequence order here, so on the right-hand side. So for example, we'll just go ahead and throw in an order page and we'll throw in an OTO page. Now you gotta make sure, number one, that your page types are accurate. So we'll go here, we'll add in an order page. As you can see here, we have different templates for that. This is gonna collect the person's payment details, all of that great stuff that goes along with that. So our next page in the funnel, just by having it in the sequence, when a person, oh, this is crazy how slow this is going. Wow. Sorry about the delays on the screen here, guys. So we're going to go ahead and select this OTO, and we'll select that template. So it's not other. So by default, what's going to happen as soon as the credit card processes on the order page, it's going to take that person to the OTO page. Now on the OTO page, it's important to have the correct command in order to initiate the charge on that order. So for example, if the person lands here on the page, they've already given me the credit card information, they've taken advantage of my offer. We're going to go here to set this action, and we're going to make sure that this is actually set to yes link, which is going to be buy the product. So there's no product actually set up, but right here is what it would tell the system to do. So that when they click on that, it's going to trigger the credit card purchase. Additionally, here you'll notice that this is just hyperlinked text. If we go into here, the command is right there. That's the actual hash mark that you'll want to use. It's hashtag yes hyphen link. And that will trigger the system to initiate that one-time offer. So that's how you would do that.
CN would like to know, what are some of the best ways to make money with ClickFunnels? Giving away funnels for affiliates, ?
Okay, so that's a really good question. Unfortunately, it's not something that we would do as far as answering that question here on the webinar. But what you could do, ask that question in the Facebook group, because there's a lot of people in the Facebook group who would benefit from the responses. Plus, you're going to get a lot of feedback from our community here. Another place that you can direct that question to is consultants.clickfunnels.com. Or members, sorry, marketplace.clickfunnels.com/consultants. And that is a list of our certified partners. There are some people in there who are geniuses when it comes to marketing, and especially with ClickFunnels and marketing the affiliate program. So that is another place that you can go to get some direction and guidance on that. Additionally, we have the bootcamp. So you have the affiliate bootcamp that you can go through, which is a 100-day bootcamp that walks you through step-by-step how to build up a rock-solid income using affiliate income with ClickFunnels. And then Russell has obviously a plethora of courses that you can go through on obviously using ClickFunnels for selling digital products. There's courses out there on being able to sell physical products, e-commerce type things and stuff like that. So obviously there's a lot of resources available. It's just not something that we can give you with direction here on the Q&A with relation to technical support and stuff like that. So hopefully that helps.
Andrew has a question. What is the best sign-up link for all the training that you mentioned? Andrew, Mark actually linked the Q&A resource document. You can go into the resource document and register for these webinars, as well as see previous Q&A recordings. There's also the Ignite Your Funnel registration series for a little bit of training, the affiliate bootcamp, and the Getting Started series you can find.
I'd also just go back to, that the newest training is the funnel game that we showed earlier when you go to your ClickFunnels dashboard. I think that's the best training, the most basic, I should say, that gets you using all the different features in ClickFunnels just from a getting started perspective. So going through there, you're really going to get to see how to use ClickFunnels and actually build out an entire funnel.
Louise has a question. How do I erase duplicate funnels in the list of funnels?
Okay, so basically what you'll be doing with respect to deleting funnels, it's not something that ClickFunnels actually does, but what it does do is it will give you the option to archive your funnels. And you can right here underneath this archive tab, you can actually go in and pull up any funnel that you have at a later time. So let's say, for example, this funnel here, ClickFunnels birthday, it's not as good as we wanted it to be. We're going to go ahead and we're going to open this up. We're going to go here to our settings tab. And then down toward the bottom of our settings, you will see the option to archive your funnel right here. Once you click that button, it's going to take this funnel and it will put that into the archived funnels. And you can see down here that that was successful. And then under the archive, if I choose, oops, I made a mistake, I can come back in here and I can actually re-pull that funnel by restoring that funnel right there. So I hope that helps.
The next question is from Maurice. He has some questions in regards to Funnel University, utilization of the image generator, the picture file uploader. His inquiry is how to move over to my ClickFunnels account to be utilized within my funnels. Also, is there a limit on images in my library for images I upload? I've contacted support more than once, but I haven't gotten an answer.
Okay, so with respect to the image uploader in Funnel University, that is actually powered by your Amazon account. So you're going to want to set up your Amazon AWS account and create a bucket for you to host all your images in. Then, of course, you are not limited. I guess there would be technically a limit by the limit that Amazon servers can hold, but I don't think you'll run out. We'll just put it that way. And that's where all of that takes place. So once you've run that generator, it gives you the option of it gives you the script that you'll place on your page, or you can download the image and you can upload it into the assets. So the image generator will put the play button and all that kind of stuff on your images. So I hope that helps. And obviously, if any follow-up questions on that, directing those to support should yield you a positive result. If it doesn't, just try again. I don't see.
Well, I think he had a follow up on there. He's saying that is there a limit of my images in my library for images I upload? I think he's talking. Maybe he needs some clarification from Maurice here. If that's in ClickFunnels or in Funnel U, because if it's in ClickFunnels, then that's an issue we definitely want to look into. If it's Funnel U, that would be something with the Amazon SES bucket that's connected. So let us know in ClickFunnels. I've seen an issue before where if an image is not very tall, like if it's just kind of like a logo header, like a header image that's not very tall. Sometimes it doesn't show up. The preview, like the dimensions the height is so small, it doesn't show up. But something like that, we definitely need to look into. So I haven't seen any other issues on that, but I'll check with the rest of the support team if they've seen issues with uploading images and things like that.
The next question we have is from Benjamin. For sending emails, do you have a recommended provider to use, i.e. CoverKit or Drip? Or would you just run with using Actionetics for sending out emails?
Well, I mean, of course, we're going to be biased here. We're going to tell you to use Actionetics for sending out emails. The deliverability is actually more in your control, obviously, with that. And again, with Aweber, ActiveCampaign, any of those, you can increase your account levels and get the dedicated IP addresses. But when it comes down to recommending third-party services, it's of course going to be up to you. You make the choice on what's best for you, best for your budget, best for your needs. But when it comes down to sending emails, we do recommend using Actionetics for everything. That's what Russell does. And that's what we would point you in the direction of doing as well. So Mark, if you're still here, Glenn, do you guys have any feedback on that?
No, I think that's perfect.
The next question we have is from David. I have an existing website on my domain. I don't want to interfere with the traffic to that. How do I set up a domain properly in ClickFunnels?
Okay, so there's a couple ways. Way number one is buy a new domain for that specific funnel. Way number two is set up a subdomain on your current funnel. Now, how you do that, we have a couple of documents that will walk you through the process of that. Of course, docs at clickfunnels.com. You'll be able to look those up and walk you through the process. But what you want to do is, if you want to maintain the branding of your current site that you have set up, is just set up a subdomain. You do that through your registrar, and then basically just point that particular subdomain at ClickFunnels, and then up here inside of your account settings here, you just go to your domains, and you just walk through the process of setting up a domain that you already own. As you can see, I've set up one or two domains in my account over the time that I've had it here. So obviously within domain, you can within ClickFunnels, you can register a domain through ClickFunnels, and your account does come with one. Or you can use an existing domain that you have. Now in this case, of course, it's going to be the existing domain that you have. And then here you just add that mysub.mydomain.com, and then follow the steps that it's going to take you through here, and apply the appropriate records to your registrar's profile, and you'll be good to go. Obviously, if you run into questions with that or any problems with that, just reach out, let us know, and we'll be happy to look into that for you.
Christopher would like to know, with Actionetics, is there a limit to the amount of emails that can be sent out before there's a charge?
Okay, so as far as...
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Mark.
All right.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was talking with someone else on our team earlier today. He informed me that's called a Canadian standoff, when you're talking and both of you say, no, you go ahead. No, you go ahead. It's Canadian standoff, I guess. So I learned something new today. So with Actionetics, we don't limit the amount of emails that you send out. And so where those limits are going to come into play are from your SMTP service provider, SendGrid, Send13, Amazon SES. And so that would be based on the account that you have with them.
We have another question from CN. On the order page, how do you change the color in step 2? Is that a column also?
So I wonder, are you referring to the two-step order form, and then you, it depends on which funnel. It's possible that that's a column, but if it's the two-step order form, then it wouldn't be. Andrew's going to pull up an example here, if possible. He's going to add an order page. So you could, if it's a column, kind of like what we showed you earlier for changing a column background color. But for an order form with a two-step order form element, the only way to change the background color on that, unless something has changed recently, would be with adding your own CSS, because it's basically set. But it is possible, like I said, it is possible with some CSS. Is there anything in the settings there for background color? I don't think that there is. If you click on themes, is there anything? Oh, there is a background color. White, gray, or black. So you have, oh, that's actually for the fields. That's not even for the whole thing itself, though. So it depends. If you're using the two-step order form element, you won't be able to change the background color of that. So hopefully that helps clarify. She's saying it was on the page you had open before video sales page upsell offer. Oh, so it was in another funnel you had open previously, it sounds like. Do you remember what that one was?
Yeah, no. I can go to recent and I can see. I would assume maybe is that one or the DGF.
That's
or
probably
one
that template one. That has a, no, I don't know.
Maybe it was this one.
Oh. Oh yeah, there is an order page there. Yeah, that must be it. Oh yeah, so that one you could change the background. That's not the two-step order form necessarily. And so yeah, that would be the column background basically for that one. So you just select which column you want to change the background color on, and then you can change it. Looks like we're actually out of time. We had a lot of questions today. It's 65 people on Facebook Live. How many people do we have in 28 in Zoom? So quite a few people joining us today. It's great to have you guys out and answer your questions. We'll be back tomorrow at the same time. And so if you have other questions that we weren't able to get to, please reach out to our support team. And that issue we saw earlier, I think I went in and fixed that. So yeah, so we should
well, let's find out.
be able to reach out to our support team. Yeah, it looks like it's updated there.
Yeah, it does look like it's, you can start a new conversation. Let's exit out of here. Just make sure, because that was neat to find.
Yeah, we want to make sure you guys are able to reach out to our support team. Actually, it looks like Christopher had a follow-up from his previous question on Facebook. If I got my domain from ClickFunnels, I'm sending emails from that address through ActionX, would there be no limit? Also, how do I acquire an email address for the domain I bought through ClickFunnels? Oh, that's weird. All right, well, maybe it's something else then. We'll have to check that out. All right, so for Christopher, that's a question, unfortunately, we don't have time to answer. There is a document that I actually recently just added for email, for webmail, like you're talking about. You would need to set something up through GoDaddy, through Zoho, G Suite, a webmail host, basically, and you can add those MX records and CNAME records that they require into the DNS settings for the domain that you registered through ClickFunnels. Because ClickFunnels is not a webmail host. As far as a limit on those domains, if you register the domain through ClickFunnels, or a limit on those emails, there still wouldn't be a limit there. That still goes through your SMTP server. So, all right, guys. Well, that's going to be it for today, and we'll be back tomorrow. Like I said, if you have any questions, please reach out to our support team. I'm going to find out why it's not allowing you to do so right now. Hopefully, you will be able to soon. So, we will see you tomorrow, guys. Thanks for coming on, Glenn and Andrew. Appreciate it. And take care, everyone.